Welcome to Suncoast FYI. I'm your host, Nancy O'Neill. This week we feature a fashion runway show, an art gallery who showcases local Suncoast artists, and a fundraising event to help protect Sarasota Bay. Here to talk about their upcoming fashion show, Thunder by the Bay Rocks the Runway, we have the event co-chair Wendy Rossiter and festival director Lucy Nicandri. Lucy, welcome back.
Thank you, Nancy. It's great to be here.
Wendy, so nice to meet you, and you guys look awesome. You're ready to rock the runway, I can tell. So we're going to start with Lucy, though. Tell us about the event, please, and what your guests can expect.
Okay, well, Thunder by the Bay Rocks the Runway is taking place on Friday, February 10th at the Grove, which is just off of Main Street in downtown Lakewood Ranch. It's going to be from 6 to 10 p.m., and it's going to be a high-energy fashion show. Classic rock and country music. We have over 35 models participating. They're modeling fashions from Adrenaline Harley-Davidson and Darcy. Tickets are $125 if you buy them by February 5th. So you want to go to thunderbythebay.org and get your tickets now. The price does go up after that, and we are not selling at the door. So check us out, thunderbythebay.org. We're going to have a great shopping spree raffle, $500 gift card to Darcy and Adrenaline Harley-Davidson. You can buy tickets to purchase that at the show. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. Open bar, great food, great energy, and like I said, it's a little different than your normal fashion show. It's high energy, and it's motorcycle themed in part with the 25th anniversary of Thunder by the Bay.
And it benefits who?
Suncoast Charities for Children. All the money goes to Suncoast Charities for Children, and we provide funding to 6 local nonprofits in the community serving children, teens, and adults with special needs. So it all stays local. Over 24 years, we've raised over $2 million for our mission, and we set the bar high this year. We're hoping to net $300,000 on the festival overall with all the events plus the festival itself, and we're just excited to have this event happening again, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is. It's going to be very exciting. Now, Wendy is co-chair and former owner of Rossiter's Harley-Davidson. You're participating as one of the models.
I am.
Tell us a little bit more about that. I mean, you look awesome,
oh,
so
thanks.
I can't imagine how it can get any better. So, but tell us a little bit about what our guests can expect.
Well, as Lucy said, the fashions are coming from Adrenaline Harley-Davidson and Darcy. Darcy's located at 1441 Main Street in Sarasota, and Adrenaline Harley-Davidson is 330 Cattleman, also in Sarasota. I have a little bit of both on. This is obviously the Harley-Davidson part, and the rest of this is Darcy.
Wow.
She's got some really fun fashion, and we've kind of combined the two of them. And so you're going to see a lot of biker stuff and a lot of fun, eclectic.
Right, so it's not just going to be motorcycle wear on the models.
Right,
There's
correct.
going to be a variety of clothing. So Darcy carries obviously very fun fashion clothing. Can you tell us a little bit more about what her style is overall?
She's got a great mix of stuff. So if you're here visiting, stop in and check it out. She's got a lot of beach wear and resort wear.
Yeah.
If you need something to go out to dinner in, you can run in and buy stuff. She has everything. She's fully loaded with accessories. She's even got fascinators for the Kentucky Derby.
Oh my God.
And she has ball gowns and all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wonderful.
A lot of
I'll
fun
look forward
stuff.
to that. And the Harley-Davidson part of it. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
A lot of fun, blingy biker clothes.
Yeah.
My granddaughter Alex will be helping dress everybody and coordinate things.
Now you said you have about 30 models.
Yes, yeah, there's quite a few. There might be a
Okay.
little more than that.
All right.
And they're all local people, so you're going to recognize your friends up there. Come cheer them on. And yeah, yes, and you'll be part of it too, so that'll be fun.
I don't know if I just spoiled anything.
Yeah, you're going to have a great time. So,
thank you.
and the music's always, rocking and fun. And like Lucy said, it's very high energy. So everybody has a great time.
So during the fashion show, so there'll be dinner, cocktails. What else is going on? I mean, I know the fashion show is the highlight of the evening, the event.
Right.
Raffles.
Raffles, David Jones and Meredith from 107.9 are going to be our MCs that night. So they add a lot of fun to the show. And like you said, it's going to be great food. Food stations will be available, open bar. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. It's a mix, mingle, great atmosphere. But again, I want to encourage people that are watching the show to get the tickets now online before close of business day on Monday, February 5th.
Okay.
And both Darcy and Adrenaline will have little pop-up shops
Yes.
set
Oh,
up
to
so you can
purchase.
purchase
Oh,
some of the stuff that you see in the
wonderful.
shows.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's perfect, right? So anybody that's there can watch the show and then go
Run out
go by.
and wrestle
Right?
each other to get get the size they need.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that, Wendy. And I also want to mention too, excuse me, we have a few models from the Haven that are going to be participating, and that's one of the agencies that we provide funding to. So we're excited about that too.
That's lovely. That's lovely. So is this the end of your very, very busy event week?
After Rocks the Runway, the following week is the 3-day festival. So, yeah. we
And
have
that's going to be held.
held at the Sarasota Fairgrounds February 17th through the 19th. We have a Born to Be Wild kickoff party, opening night of the festival. The festival is going to be open to the general public, but if you'd like a ticket to that, it's under the VIP tent. Again, open bar, food that's catered. Buy your tickets online. They are $125 per person, thunderbythebay.org, and the 3-day festival. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So all of the events are housed under Thunder by the Bay online.
Yes.
And what is that website?
Thunderbythebay.org. Just click on the events tab and it'll pull down all the events, all of the tickets. Again, for the festival, pre-sale tickets are $10. They will be $15 at the gate. So be sure you check out all the events and buy your tickets early.
Awesome.
We have 38 special this year coming.
Yes.
So that's going to be super
Yes.
fun.
Yeah, 38
So
special.
there'll be awesome music and lots going on.
Along with a bunch of other great musicians,
Yeah.
but that's like the headliner.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, thank you both.
Thank you.
and,
Thank you, Nancy.
I'll see you next
Yeah.
Friday.
on the runway.
Yes.
On the runway.
It'll be fun.
It will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up, St. Petersburg Art Gallery owner Jim Woodfield. Here with me today to showcase the local artists their gallery represents is the owner of the Woodfield Fine Art Gallery, Jim Woodfield. Well, thank you for making the trip down from St. Pete. I appreciate it.
Well, it's my pleasure. I like to get out, and when I do, I like to travel to Sarasota. It's got some wonderful
It's
things
beautiful here, isn't
yes,
it?
Yes, it is.
Well, St. Pete's pretty nice too.
Yeah.
So, what enticed you to open an art gallery, and how long have you been in business, Jim?
Well, I officially retired from the corporate world at the end of 2010, and that's when we moved from Texas to St. Petersburg. And I immediately started pulling out the art supplies and getting back into the art scene, and then found a studio space in the Warehouse Arts Districts of St. Petersburg.
What medium do you work in?
I work in oils. I do a lot of portrait work and work mainly in oils. But anyway, I found the studio space. I rented a studio space in the Warehouse Arts District, and that's where I got to know a lot of local artists. And realized that there was very limited access to places to show their work. And the only way they could show it in the studio was every art walk, which was just once a month. That was the second Saturday of every month, and St. Pete does the art walk. And that was the only time that we could show our art and sell it. And so I had the opportunity in 2015 to lease a space that was perfect for a gallery. And with the sole intention of making sure that I only represented Tampa Bay area local artists, meaning they had to live within 50 miles of St. Petersburg for me to have them in the gallery. And it's grown from that point.
That's awesome. Now, how many artists do you currently represent?
I currently represent 37 artists, and all of them are local Tampa Bay area artists.
And you have a beautiful gallery, because I had the pleasure of,
Well, thank
being
you.
there a couple of weeks ago. But
Thank you. We moved from our original location about a year and a half ago down to where we are now. It was only a 1-block move, but it turned out to be a really good move because now I have more space, and I have a space that I can dedicate to solo exhibits, which brings in a whole new group of clientele for these solo exhibits, and it introduces new artists for the gallery and to the area.
okay. Now, I know you said you only take artists from within a certain area range, but how do you choose those artists? Because there are many artists to choose from.
Yes, what I have in the gallery is just a tip of the iceberg as far as the talent that's available in this area. And basically I look at the art. I know what I've got in the gallery. I look at the artist's work. If it's something that could be fairly redundant, meaning it's similar to something I already have,
Exactly.
then I can't bring them into the gallery. But I'm looking for new, I'm looking for very good talent, and I'm looking for unique. And I'm also looking for a blend of emerging artists as well as very well-known, internationally collected artists. Believe it or not, we have a lot of those in this area.
We do.
Yes.
Yes. I work for an art college, as I mentioned to you, and it's amazing the talent that we have between St. Pete and Sarasota.
Yes, it
People
is.
would be very surprised. Having said all of that about your artist and your gallery, what do you think sets you apart from other galleries that may be in St. Pete?
Well, of course, I emphasize strongly the whole buy local idea for people, but I think what makes me unique is the fact that I am one of the only ones that does concentrate strictly on our local talent. And also, I try to provide a comfortable setting for the artists to show up during special occasions like exhibit openings and art walk, where they can be there to answer customers' questions and what have you. So it's kind of a unique setting, and it's a limited space, therefore I display in what's called the salon style of
Yes.
display,
Which I love.
to try to get maximum exposure for those artists.
Now you mentioned, we mentioned in the opening, art walks, or you mentioned that you have an art walk. Is that still taking place?
Oh yes, it's every second Saturday of the month. It's hosted by the St. Petersburg Arts Alliance. They run a trolley. It's 5 different arts districts in the city, and we have directories and brochures with maps to show people where they can go to see the art, and it's become a very popular event.
Yeah.
It's almost a party atmosphere.
It is.
And I've
It
never
is.
had a bad art walk at my gallery. We serve refreshments.
Yeah.
Adult
Adult beverages.
Yes, adult beverages, and people just come in and have a good time, and like the art, either buy the art or come back later and buy the art.
Absolutely. Sometimes you have to think about it, but
Yes.
you know, it's fun to see
The
it.
true collectors usually are the ones that have to think about it a little while.
There you go. Well, yes, but that's good and bad sometimes. Sometimes they lose out.
Yes, they do.
Sometimes they lose out. What do you see as new trends or focuses that the art market is going into, Jim?
I think the newest thing that's going to create a challenge for some of the brick and mortar businesses is the whole idea of the artificial intelligence, AI art.
Yes.
It's becoming popular, and it's not to discount those who are capable of generating whatever tools they need to develop the art. But I have to think in terms, I only offer original art in my gallery. I want, a lot of the collectors that come in want to be assured that they are getting a one of a kind, that they are getting the original piece to something. And it's difficult to guarantee that when you start looking at digital art or AI art. And so a lot of the collectors are turned off by it for that reason. As far as instilling beauty in people's homes and what have you, I don't want to downplay any art. I want people to be able to buy the things that they love and the things that they feel like are going to
Sure.
do justice to their homes or their businesses or whatever.
Okay.
But again, I'm going to personally be pushing for those artists who create what I call original pieces of art.
I agree. I I agree. And some of the digital art is beautiful. We have a lot of that on campus. And again, it depends on what the individual's looking for. Before we close, though, I would like to ask for your words of wisdom for somebody that's a new art collector.
First of all, don't be afraid to explore what's available from new or emerging artists. That's my strongest advice to what I call true collectors, because that's how these artists become discovered, is
Yes.
when the right people pick up their works. Not only that, but a lot of people have a budget when it comes to buying art. And when they see something they love and it's way out of their budget, don't be afraid to go to a gallery. You'd be surprised at the things you can find that are very similar to that. But because it's by an emerging artist, it's going to be a much better price point.
There you go.
And that helps build the reputation of the emerging artist, and eventually they're going to be to the point where you can't afford them either.
There you go.
But somebody will be able to.
Exactly. So that's the best thing. There, those well-kept secrets when you have a new artist. So
Right.
be on the lookout for those. What's the location of your gallery and your website, Jim?
The gallery is at 2323. That should be easy to remember.
Yes.
2323 Central Avenue
Yeah.
in St. Petersburg.
Okay.
We're in the Grand Central District is
Okay.
what they
And
call
your
it.
website is?
The website is www.woodfieldfineart.com.
Okay, great. And we'll see you for the art walk on the second Saturday of the month.
Second Saturday of the month.
All right, great. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. Up next, we have Brandon Taft, president of the Sarasota Baywatch. Joining us to talk about their fundraising event, Scalapalooza, is Sarasota Baywatch president Brandon Taft. Well, this may be a loaded question because we talked about this earlier, but what first got you interested in this wonderful project that you've taken on, Brandon?
So actually, it was about 5 years ago, I was invited to a Scalapalooza.
Yes.
And so that's how I first got introduced to the organization. And over the last couple of years, just learned what a great organization it is. Scalapalooza is a really fun event, and so it's great to get to keep doing it.
Okay, well, what is it?
Okay.
So other people know why you enjoyed it so much and why you stayed.
Well, so Scalapalooza, the event itself, is at the Hyatt on February 11th at 6 p.m. And it's a great kind of informal, fun, we have a live auction, we have a silent auction, just way to get together, catch up with people, raise our funds for the year, and learn about the work that Sarasota Baywatch has been doing throughout the past year and what we're excited about going into next year.
Okay, and so you're serving scallops.
So we are not actually serving scallops. That might be a little mean, but we are, we put clams actually on live clams on the table in a vase. And you can really see how the clams filter the water. We put algae in there. And so that was really amazing to see last year. We're going to do it again this year.
Okay.
So if you want to see what these clams can do to help our bay, Scalapalooza is a great way to see that.
All right, and that's basically what you're doing now. The Sarasota Baywatch is promoting different ways to protect Sarasota Bay by
Yes.
developing the clam.
Absolutely. So we've actually in the last year gotten the first restoration clam lease in the state of Florida from the FWC right in Sarasota Bay. So we're actually transitioning to growing our own clams in the bay and then moving them around the bay to help filter the water. On top of that, we also do a number of cleanups throughout the year of the bay and the surrounding areas. And we also have a youth leadership program. So those are really the three main things that the organization does. We're really a community-funded, community-focused, grassroots organization. And Scalapalooza is fundamental to providing what we need to operate during the year.
Okay, so how are you actually, I'm just curious, how do you actually move the clams around? When you said you're going to move them around to filter the water, how is that actually done, Brandon?
So in years past, we've had great partners who have lent us trucks to bring them up from Pine Island first, where they grow,
Yep.
and then we put them on boats and we take them to a location, dump the clams off the boat. So that's been a really fun event to do. And then we look at the clams, we assess the clams. We've actually hired a third-party consultant, environmental consultant, to study the science behind what the clams are doing. But now, with having the clam lease in Sarasota Bay, the efficiency of the situation will be much better, because the clams will actually be growing right here in our bay. Then we'll be going down, getting them, putting them right on boats, and taking them to other sites where we want to restore clam growth in the bay, and help filter the water and help seagrass and help the bay.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
We need it. How can our local community members get involved if they want to help with this project?
Scalapalooza is a great way to come help raise money, but we are truly a community-based organization. We rely on volunteers. We have events throughout the year. For example, our next event is actually helping down in Northport clean up the waterways there after Ian. Those events are all on our website. We also just do underwater cleanups. We do shoreline and coastal cleanups all throughout the year, and we love getting people involved. We love new volunteers to come out, get their hands dirty, and you can really see the effect you're having when you get out there, you clean up trash, or you help keep our bay beautiful.
Well, and it's true. I mean, when you say, what can I do as one person, but when you get a group of people together to do something like this, that it all benefits all of us. It's a great thing. So back to Scalapalooza, obviously, you're going to be serving a lovely menu, but what else can the participants look forward to? Are there speakers telling them about what else you do and how they can get involved? What else is going to take place, Brandon?
Yeah, so at Scalapalooza, it's not your kind of standard black tie event. Hopefully it's going to be exciting. This year we're calling it the Clam Jam. We're going to have a band afterwards.
Okay.
But yeah, the speaking at the beginning is going to be showing pictures, explaining what's been happening over the last year, really showing what we do in pictures and videos, and talking about what we did, what we're going to do, and really helping get people connected with our activities, but also a great opportunity to meet other like-minded people who care about our bay, but also care about our bay in a positive, grassroots way. We don't get caught up in the politics of the whole thing. We try and just be grassroots, hands-on environmentalism, where you just get out there and you try and make a difference.
And make a difference. Now, how does the youth part of it figure into everything that you do?
So we're really, a big tenet of what we do is to try and get local youth involved at a young age, and we have a whole youth program. And right now, there's a group of Sarasota Baywatch youth individuals who are really focused on cleaning up Jim Neville Marine Preserve, and so they're out there, every couple of weekends, just cleaning up that local marine preserve and really making a positive change out there for native species, and also on top of that, learning how to be good environmental stewards and learning what a beautiful gem we have here in Sarasota with the bay. I think that's, everyone who's lived here as long as I have, which is my whole life, knows that that's really the cornerstone of our city, and it's just great to teach kids about what an important thing that is to all of us.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Now, you have other events coming up, and if you would like to mention a couple of those and then let our viewers know where they can go to find out all of this information, please.
Great. Yeah, so our next event is actually going to be down in Northport, as I mentioned, cleaning up Ian debris. That's on our website, sarasotabaywatch.org. And then we also keep your eyes on sarasotabaywatch.org. Follow us on Instagram or Facebook. We have events throughout the year. At some point, we're going to be doing more clams. There'll be more hands-on cleanups. So keep your eyes out, and we've got a great bunch of ways to get involved here and really help our bay.
Okay, and that's where our viewers can go if they want to volunteer and help you as well.
Absolutely, sarasotabaywatch.org.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all
Thank you
you're
for
doing.
having me.
Before we say goodbye today, I want to share some program changes affecting Suncoast FYI. Starting next week, our FYI segments will become part of the SNN midday weekend newscasts from noon to 4. We hope you will continue watching and sending in your event requests to FYI@SNNTV.com or call our producer Adam Huntley at 941-361-4645. I'm Nancy O'Neill. Please join us next week in our new times, Saturday and Sunday from noon to 4 during SNN's Weekend Edition.